2, 3. Here we go. New York Red Bulls came in second place last year. Pretty excited to be I'm not, but it would be pretty exciting to be a New York Red Bulls fan. Especially cool, I think, because, you know, they brought in the new New York City FC team, and it was like, oh, this is going to be a huge rival. New York City has all these stars and great players, and it ended up being New York Red Bulls that came out almost on top. It was a close game. So, good team, great team. Don't like them because they're a rival of my team, but, you know, it is what it is. So we'll start off with our goalie, as we always do. Work back to the front. We got Robles, however you want to say it. Great goalie. $6 million. He obviously is the kind of goalie that can get you to the playoffs and get you to the finals. Very good guy. So $6 million, there's not much else to say. If you're going with him, it's not a bad option in any way. Solid team. I'm not too sure about the guys in front of him this year, though. So the shutouts might not be there as much, but it's okay. Goalies don't always depend on shutout points as much as defenders do, because they end up getting a lot of bonuses, and I think we'll see even more bonus points for them this year with the changes in the points. So moving on, according to this list, which I have to put this disclaimer on every time because I don't want y'all yelling at me, I'm getting my information from goal.com. They put out a few season previews for a bunch of teams, but I can't guarantee you 100% that all of this information is correct. There's still a week left in the season. There might be some things that come up, and these might have even been done like 2 weeks ago, because this guy that had to do them had a deadline, but I'm sure he worked really hard, so this information is not a waste. I'm just going to try to give my 2 cents from the research I've done, things I've seen in preseason. Just if there's any changes, I'll let you know, but I can't be guaranteed to be 100% right either, because it's soccer and you never know. So moving up the field, according to this list, we have BAAH and ZUBAR as the center backs. There were some changes to last year's team. Obviously, Miazga, everybody's favorite defender from last year for New York, is gone on Chelsea. Pretty exciting for him. He deserves it. He's a great young player. I think there's going to be a huge future for him, especially in the U.S. national team. Super excited about that. But for now, New York has 2 new center mids. I think Zubar played last year, but I want to say he played on the outside, but I can't promise you that because I don't like the Red Bulls, so I didn't watch him that much last year. But okay, so Zubar is $8 million, and BAAH is $8 million as well. BAAH, I believe, is new. GIDEON, his name is. Cool name. But he's new to the MLS, so, you know, it's one of those big question marks. It's risky, but it might pay off. Both pretty expensive, though, for center backs. I would say unproven. Zubar only had 36 points last year. In my opinion, you want to go with the guys that you know have performed well, they're proven. I'm not saying to avoid these guys. I'm just saying it's risky and be cautious. If he's on your team, that's cool. You probably know more about him than I do then. On the left side, looks like they have a guy named Lawrence who must have played quite a decent amount last year because he almost reached 2,000 minutes. So yeah, he had 104 points, pretty good, and he's $7 million. Not bad. For an outside defender, it's not bad. You know my theory. I don't need to say it every time, but I do because maybe this is the first video of mine that you're watching. The guys on the outside aren't going to tend to get as many points as the guy on the inside, and that can really mess you up. Like on the way that price changes work, you know, it all depends on the average points for that position. So let's say New York gets scored on 4 times. That's minus 2 points. So let's say they're at 0. Let's just say all of them are at 0. But the guys in the middle are more likely going to get a bunch of bonus points from clearances, things like that. And the guys on the outside, they might not get any bonus points at all. So you have to be worried that your guys on the outside might lose profit and money on you more often than the guys in the mid. That's why I'm kind of building a team that's more center defenders. Okay, got that out of the way. Sorry. Just want to try to help you out. That's all. Just my opinions, and that's all it is. So take that to the bank if you want or don't. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. On the other side, we have SAL Zizzo, which I'm kind of surprised to see here. He was with Kansas City. Maybe, I think he started with them last year. Maybe got traded mid-season. Not 100% sure. But SAL Zizzo is a guy that he was playing more in the midfield, but now he's back on the right. So obviously he knows how to get up into the attack. He knows how to get crosses in. He's pretty good at it. He played a little bit last year. Again, risky. He's 6.5, so that is a benefit to him. He's a little less expensive than the guy on the other side, but again, unproven, I think, at that position. So be cautious. New York defense looking a little shaky, but I could be completely wrong. I kind of hope I'm not. That's terrible. Sorry, New York fans. It's all good. Moving up the field, I think where New York might actually be the strongest, one of the stronger teams in the MLS. I mean, it's obviously proven they got pretty far last year. We have Dax McCarty. Dax McCarty is one of my personal most frustrating guys in fantasy soccer because he's a guy, he's a little guy. He's a redhead, he's fiery, he's awesome, but he's one of those guys that I'm like, no, there's no way I'm putting him on my team. And then he goes and scores a goal with his head. It's like, how? It doesn't make any sense to me. But he is a very good player, and he's been with New York for a while. His spot is solid. I'm surprised he hasn't really gotten called up at all because he does a fantastic job controlling the game. His passing accuracy is fantastic. It's what you want from a center midfielder. He scored a good amount of points last year, and he's at $9 million this year. That's pretty pricey for a guy that's playing his position in the field. Obviously, he scored 155 points, and it would have been even more if they would have gone with the point system we're doing this year. But he's not going to be on my team because that's what I do. I don't put him on my team, and then I get mad at him when he does great. But if you have him on your team, I really don't have a problem with that. I think he's a good option, a good solid player. That will play every game of the season unless his leg is broken in half. Moving on, we have Felipe. Another frustrating guy for me, but in a different reason. Not for a fantasy reason, but I just don't like watching guys that dive. Frustrates me so much. He's not a big guy, but he dives like crazy. Sorry, I'm complaining now. My bad. I'm getting salty. I'll get over it. Felipe is a very good player, though. $8.5 million. Played with Montreal for a while. Very, very good player. Very sharp. Has a good game. So he's a good option, but this might be one of those situations where there might be guys on the bench that kind of fill in for him. I'm not saying he's old. I'm just saying he gets tired sometimes or hurt or whatever. Has to come off the field. Between the two of those guys, I would definitely take McCarty. He's worth the extra $500,000 in my opinion. Moving up the field. SACHA KLJESTAN. Man, he surprised the crap out of me last year. Big points from him, 201, and that is why he's $11 million, because you're playing for the name and you're paying for the amount of points he got last year. He did a fantastic job in his position as an attacking role. You know he's been with the national team, so you know he has a good pedigree, good player. He's not on my team just because I don't like New York. Apparently, I don't like New York a lot more than I thought. But he is a fantastic player, and he is going to be there all year as long as he's not on national team duty. Solid option. On the left, or somewhere out there, GRELLA. Very good season last year. There's no doubt about that. He doesn't look like a guy that would be amazing, but he pulls off some crazy awesome stuff. Through balls and passes that don't seem possible, but somehow he gets them there. Good option. He is $8 million, relatively cheap. But as far as New York Red Bulls team goes, there are a lot of point getters on their team. I mean, a lot of other teams you look at when you open up the fantasy tab and you look at all the points that the midfielders have, you have like maybe one or two guys that have a ton that like even break 100. New York has 5, and they're all well above 100 too. So GRELLA also a good option. You're getting a bargain at $8 million. I think he's still going to be pretty good. There might be somebody that comes in along the season. and kind of shares his role. I don't know that for sure, but for now it looks like he's a starter. On the other side, you have Lloyd Sam, another fantastic option. Oh, I know who the other guy is. Bradley Wright-Phillips' brother, Sean Wright-Phillips. He showed some flashes of brilliance last year, but as of now, he's not a starter. So don't think about picking him up yet. If you want a Phillips, you need to pick up Bradley Wright, obviously. So Sam, anyway, we were talking about Sam. Very good guy, very fast, very smart. Good connection with Bradley Wright, obviously, and he will be up in the attack often. So good option. He's $9 million. Not a bad price for what he did last year. 158 points. That's excellent. So yeah, that's the midfielder positions, and obviously the guy that everybody knows and likes a lot is Bradley Wright-Phillips. $11 million. Again, those forwards are expensive because they're up next to the goal all game long. Their ceiling for points is high, and Bradley Wright-Phillips did a pretty dang good job last year. I know he was in the hunt for the Golden Boot, didn't get it, but very good option, very good guy, good player, fast, smart, and has the accent. So yeah, there's a lot to be excited for about New York. It's hard not to find players. I mean, if I did a top 3, I feel like it'd be pretty hard. I'm going to do one anyway, but you could probably do a top 5 and still have no problem pulling out guys from this team that would be great to put in that list. But I'm going to do my top 3 anyway. SACHA KLJESTAN is actually first. Just fantastic player. Pains me to say this, but he is amazing. He's one of the best players in the MLS. So he's definitely strongly recommended on my part. Number 2 is going to be Bradley Wright-Phillips because he's the one that gets the ball most often up front. He will be scoring goals. You know that. That's his job, and he does it well. Not all teams have a forward that finish well like Bradley Wright-Phillips does. And then third, I think I would probably go with Dax McCarty. Crazy, right? A center defensive midfielder. What? He's stellar. He has proven time and time again that he is not just a good player, on the field, but fantasy-wise, he is a very good option, a viable option. Gets a lot of points, and I think it's going to be even more this year with the point changes they did. So, having said that, New York looking really positive in the offense. Not so much in the defense. There's going to be a lot of question marks there, but we'll see as the season goes on. So, thanks for watching. Hope it helped. Good luck with your teams. Bye.